How can Agile Scrum be applied in education? In this video, we will explain it. You will learn about the typical triangle configuration of relationships in education, how to interpret a user story table, UST, with its attributes in Agile Scrum, and how to adapt a user story table, UST, in Agile Scrum to two common educational cases. I will firstly focus on a triangle relationship between educational partners that are involved in Agile Scrum. Secondly, on how to interpret a user story table and its attributes. And thirdly, on how a user story table can be adapted to two common educational cases. Let's dive in. Firstly, the triangle relationship in education.
When we regard the triangle relationship in education, we firstly have again the stakeholder. That can be a CEO or CTO of a company with which the university has contact, or it can be a professor at the university who is doing relevant research in a project. Such people often want to run a project to make a product or write a report. Secondly, on the other hand, you have the product owner. This role is normally filled in by university staff. What is needed here are persons with leadership skills that know how to write state-of-the-art reports or build professional products. Thirdly, the development team normally is filled in by a student team. This means in practice that the class is divided into creative teams that are operated by students that have technical know-how to be able to deliver a high-quality product or report to the stakeholder. To boost the quality, the teams are being actively coached by product owners.
Now we're going to discuss the user story table, UST, with attributes.
We now regard the user story table in education, as it's implemented in digital Scrum board tools such as Jira, for example. Jira is from Atlassian. In blue, you see in the so-called task decomposition that the workload in the student team to deliver a professional product or a report to stakeholder can be split at either the user story level, larger chunks, or at task level, smaller chunks. Such hierarchical division of workload for an epic stimulates cooperative learning in the student teams. In orange, you see attributes of the user story table, such as task name and story points of the estimated workload in hours. These orange attributes come from an anticipated template with educational building blocks in a course that is carefully prepared before the start of a course by university staff. This template aligns strategically with the learning material and expertise that is supposed to be learned or applied by students in a course. Conveniently, students just need to pick standardized names from the handy template to comply with the goals of the course. In brown, you see personal student attributes. The task status refers to the command to do, doing done on Scrum boards. And the student's name is needed to know who's doing what.
Lastly, the user story table, adapted to education.
We now regard two common cases of applying Agile Scrum in education. The first educational example is when a student team delivers a professional product for a stakeholder. It can be a prototype that consists of an engineered product that consists of different product categories with varying product features. In the example of a website to be built, the different product categories can be front end and back end, and the different features can be different buttons on the front end of a website. In case that the professional product is software to be engineered, normally a tool like GitHub is used to work in a team together on the code that belongs to tasks. If all digital tools are set up well, students can go seamless from Teams to GitHub to see the code that is being delivered for a certain product feature in, say, task T11, for example. The other educational example is when a report is to be written for a stakeholder. Dus in this case the epic is report and the user stories can be separate storylines in the report. To be practical, in this case, each student in a student development team can deliver a different storyline and the task could be more at the paragraph level. In this case, it's also possible to have specific digital tools of assistance, of course, that align with reporting skills.
In this video, you've learned that the dominant triangle relationship in Agile Scrum are stakeholder, product owner and development team. In education, the teaching staff have the role of the stakeholder and product owner. Students have the role of developers. Also, you've learned that in education, it is handy to take important task attributes such as task name and story points of a task from pre-grading grids as provided by teaching staff in order to standardize all Scrum boards for all student teams in class. Last, two common practical cases of doing education in Agile Scrum format are the professional product and a report. Two common practical cases of doing Agile Scrum in education are the professional product and report. Thanks for watching.